Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to a brand new episode of your favorite talk show, Bahrain Now, with your host, me, Bara Abdallah, as we bring you the kingdom's latest topics and initiatives, as well as the showcasing of local talents and more, all happening right here on Bahrain Now, right after this break. So, don't go away. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm really excited for our next guest. Is an innovator, ICT, veteran, and entrepreneur, and winner of over 40 prestigious awards. The brilliant Dr. Jassim Haji telling us more about AI. Well, good evening, Doctor.
Good evening to you.
Well, I'm pretty much excited for this topic, AI. It's a huge topic, as we just talked about it just earlier. You said, it's like asking me about life altogether. But tell us more about the AI scene here in Bahrain.
Well, first of all, what is AI? People think AI is just robots that they probably witness in the movies from 70s until today.
Yeah.
Actually, AI came up as a concept in 1956 in one of the American universities by Professor John McCarthy.
Okay.
But since then, the pace was so slow, and it was only displayed in movies in 70s and 80s.
Star Wars.
Star Wars, yeah. And actually those. They were the motivators for people to go and think about them and create some solutions.
Right.
Now, in the past decade, it has taken the momentum, and probably in the past 5 years and during the COVID, it has taken is upstream. But the worrying thing is we haven't seen anything yet.
We haven't seen anything, and we haven't even scratched the surface with all that we got.
There is something called intelligent general. Artificial Intelligence General Intelligence. That's coming, AGI.
Okay.
The scientists believe that is going to come by 2050 or so.
Wow, okay.
We are probably 30, 40 years away from that. And that's the scary part, where the AI will be as intelligent as human and will be challenging a human being in every piece of their practice. That's the scary part. Of course, we are far from there.
Okay.
But everything we witness is showing that we go into that direction. Every day you look at artificial intelligence, you just go and search on Google's, you'll find next 15 minutes something different in AI.
If I can add to that, I actually saw on YouTube a newsreader, a TV presenter who was in AI, and I'm like, there goes my job.
That goes, of course.
Yeah.
We're sitting on TV today, hello guys, but all your jobs on the line now. So, it's not that it's going to be replacing humans so quickly, but many routine jobs, repetitive jobs is going to go away. So people have to think of smarter jobs. One of the leading audit companies CEO said, look, the future of the financial controllers, the accountant, auditors is on the line. But those auditors and financial controllers and accountants with AI capabilities, they're going to survive. So you're going to have two sets of jobs in future. People who just do traditional and routine jobs that they are in, and those who are enabled with AI. So news readers who sit back and just say, well, I'm a news reader, they're going to be probably redundant. But those who say, I'm going to enhance my job with AI, and I'm going to enable my activities with AI, those are the ones who are going to survive.
There you go.
They're going to, actually, the jobs that's going to go, I'm not going to say as equal as that, but many smarter jobs are going to risen for the future.
Wow, very interesting. Very, very interesting. I mean, it's scary, like you said, but at the same time, it's exciting.
It is.
So if we don't reinvent ourselves and discover new abilities, us as humans, in creative thinking, critical thinking, how can we accommodate and adapt the new wave? Like you just said, this is crazy. So with you, what you're saying right now, AI is involved in everything.
It is.
And we use it in everywhere.
Yeah.
Is there a place where AI should not be involved in?
Well, look, in Europe and States, there are over 290 organizations. They're trying to build regulations and ethicals and values around AI.
Wow.
But they're finding it difficult because the pace of development in AI is much faster than jogging it down and putting regulations around it.
Right.
It's going to be you can't wait for the documentations to move ahead. People in China every day and probably every hour they come up with some solutions. Imagine if you want to sit down and say, well, this is allowed or not. Of course, ethics and the values and discriminations, because what is AI at the end of the day? A set of data that you have, what we call it, the big data, structured or unstructured data that's available, for instance, on Google. And also, the most important part of it is algorithms.
Algorithms. Yes.
Algorithms is the heart of it. But if you write an algorithm that is biased against male and female, against races, against colors, then of course the AI will learn from that, and it will develop to become something of biased in whichever way you look at it. And that's, of course, as it learns, because it will end up developing itself. It treats the data, it trains the data by itself, and it learns in the machine learning. So then it does not need a human. That's why we call it an autonomous. When you have autonomous cars in future, and when they, of course, they put some sort of sensors, but they take their own decisions. As they said, if comes across an accident or comes across people passing the road, it has to make spontaneous decisions on what to do. But that's not going to wait for a signal from a human. There's no set of instructions.
Right.
And that's the algorithm is the most important, but the most scary part of it. That's why we need to be very careful on how to build it.
I mean, to add to that story,
right?
I used to have a social media account on Instagram. Okay. For 12 years, I've been so active on it, on my Instagram, posting daily and getting a lot of followers and all that kind of stuff. But then when COVID-19 came in, what I've been understanding is that from people working in Instagram and Facebook saying that they developed a new artificial intelligence, an algorithm, a bot that goes around the social media like a police, like a curfew, patrol, saying that, oh, you're good, you're bad, depending on your comments, depending on your DMs, how many likes, and that kind of stuff. I got my account deleted completely by a bot who took an on-demand decision, just like that. And I've been trying to get it back again. It's just so crazy that I have experienced AI personally. So it's like, I'm not saying it's good or it's bad, but what you said right now was just definitely on spot.
Well, there's two things I have to tell you. There is no way we can wait, or we can delay it, or we can put it off until we are ready. It's coming. You can either be one of the pioneers and start now, or be the followers, and it will be imposed on you tomorrow. So there is no such a choice that you and others, or even a new generation has. We can say the people who are at their twilight of their careers, they can say, well, we can do without it for the next few years. I don't need it, but even then they still need it because they're holding others back. But you have to start now, and you had to start it yesterday.
Yeah.
But going back to what you said, it was interesting about the social media, because the entire war is about data. Data is the future oil, as everybody knows it. So it's going to be as important as it is. The country is going to hold their data. They're going to surround it with policies. They don't want it to give it away because that's so valuable. And it brings us to the security, the cyber security wars that's happening today. You have heard about many attacks that's happening, for instance, in the federal agencies. Countries blaming each other. But you know who's behind that? It's not humans. It's AI. The criminals are using, or the cyber criminals, they're using AI because what it does, it takes billions of data and it monitors them, as you said, 24/7. And when it finds the opportunity, actually it looks at the trends and it says, well, you're active on those days at these times, and this is the best time, so they can do the attack. So it's difficult for the other sides. That's why I disagree that putting the cyber security professionals or tools around it can defend, because you can't put a human against an AI. So you'll have to put AI on your defense to be able to put a defense around your network and your facilities.
That was a movie script you just mentioned right now. It was an entire movie script, but it is a reality.
It is, and you can't do without it. That's why people even cannot find out who did the attack, because it's so smart, so fast, and it's so much enabled with the data. By 2024,
Right.
we're going to have in this world about 190 zettabytes of data. And you know what does that mean? That's, if you take it in the mathematical way, is to the uppercase of 27. So put 27 zeros.
Wow.
So, you know, it is 1 million of terabytes. And today we're talking about 5 terabytes, 6 terabytes.
Right.
And it's millions of that. So imagine that's the data that's going to be around the world in about 3 to 4 years. So what are you going to do with that data? And that data is going to be a blessing, but very dangerous as well, and to the availability to people who can use it, but also for good use. You know, on the social media, it's going to look at it. Today, the data people are not using it on the Google, but you can go and use it for the opportunities.
Right.
And it can look at the patterns. What are the opportunities? Who are the people looking for it? And just spontaneously do that. So the difference between human and doing that, just one quick example.
Right.
You know, JP Morgan were looking at automating through AI some of their activities.
Okay.
And they reduced some of their activities from 360,000 hours, and I repeat it, 360,000 hours.
That's a lot of hours. Yeah.
To 2 minutes. So imagine the improvement that they had over there from
Amazing.
On that reduction. So
Amazing.
human at his best, at his full capacity, still is no match to that.
It's amazing that you actually said that right now we're living in a world that's so fast. Like, as we mentioned offset, is that there was a time where superpowers had agriculture, big lands,
Right.
and then went to the revolution of the industry and factories,
Right.
and then going to IT and information. Now we are in the race for the superpowers to have who has the best AI.
Obviously, as you said, it was IR for the industrial countries, IR 1.0. Today we are in IR 4.0. That's Industrial Revolution 4.0, which has AI in its heart. But we're going to IR 5.0 soon, and that's going to be complete, probably humanless activities. And the countries who lead in AI today are those. That's why you see presidents of the countries
Right.
become and put their plan and their strategy, and they start with AI. And they compete with each other on AI. Who are the best? Who are the ones that can produce most AI scientists? Big companies like Google and Microsoft.
Right.
You know, they don't today look at, and I'm not discouraging academical studies at all.
Right.
But they're not looking people at bachelor degrees and master degrees. They look at data scientists, and they look at AI professionals who
Right.
probably
Right.
even 18, 19 years old with no experience.
Things are
These are the
changing.
people who are coming with high salaries
Right.
in their business, because they will drive their future, and not those people who are behind the desks and that lot of academies.
Wow, that's a big statement right there. That's a big statement. And you've been a member, if I'm not even the director of the International Group of Artificial Intelligence.
Right.
It's a huge deal.
It is. I'm proud of it. With the humble opinion that representing Bahrain
Right.
is the fastest growing artificial intelligence organization in the whole world,
Amazing.
with over 550 members, growing by end of the year to become over 1,200 from various countries, mainly in Europe, Latin America, North America,
Amazing.
Asia, and in the Middle East. So I was proud to represent Bahrain, to be the president of that group. And what I try to do from that position, to as much as I can, to serve the young men and women from this country,
Right.
to bring them up to that level, because we in Bahrain historically have had a strong talents and human capital.
Right.
And I think AI today more than anything requires those talents.
Right.
And I think we can be the center and the hub for the Middle East, in the absence of it from
Right.
many countries, to export that information and those developments to the rest of the Middle East. The developments of Google and Microsoft are not done in US and in Europe. They're done
Right.
in third world countries in South Asia, and Indian subcontinent, and Eastern European, in Eastern South America. But we can replace them and be the hub and be the innovation center for the Middle East in AI as Bahrain. And it brings me to just an example that is similar to our case, and we were talking about it, and that's Estonia in Eastern Europe. They have similar conditions as us, small country, small population, not many natural resources, but they position themselves as the biggest AI center in Europe, and they're exporting it. They even have the first member of the parliament, which is actually he or she, it's called Nora, N-O-R-A, is a member of a parliament with AI enabled. So it's not a virtual, is a virtual member of the parliament who can communicate with the people 24/7 and has all the information through the data to provide them make a decision. So that's the future where we can do that.
Wow. AI, blockchain, parliament members, all that's happened. The world is changing. The world's really changing. It's so fast. So with all that being said, I know we can talk about this forever, definitely. But sir, what is your advice to us? And with all this going on, what should we do?
Look, we should start from the basis. We should start, and I'm happy to see several schools, kindergartens in Bahrain, they're putting the concept of the AI to those children, not necessarily showing them how to program with Python.
Right.
But they're looking at.
I tried.
It's not that difficult, but they try to give them the concept, even through the blocks, through the animals, and the farms, and how the data is collected, and how they can distribute them. So that concept is great, and we can grow into that. Only a few years ago, we had students from universities who were working on AI, but today we have students from the secondary school who are very good at it, and the primary school are getting there as well. So, we don't have to wait until they graduate. We don't have to wait to send them elsewhere to learn that. There are many materials online. I advise people to go and search for them, participate in courses, read a lot, and they can apply them in many areas. It doesn't have to be expensive solutions, and we're there to support them whichever way we can.
Amazing. Sir, I would say that I think we are super lucky and blessed to have you in our country.
Thank you.
Leading us in this world of AI. Thank you so much for being with us here on Bahrain Now. Such a pleasure.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure of mine. And good luck for all men and women in this area and the future
definitely.
science.
Well, we got a lot of work to do, that's for sure. Thanks a lot. Pleasure. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the world of AI is just starting. We're just scratching the surface. More happening right here on Bahrain Now, so stay tuned. Ladies and gentlemen, our next guest is Sayyid Hamza Ahmed from the Bahrain Rowing and Canoe Center to talk to us more about the center. Well, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
How are you?
Pleasure to have you.
Excited. The thing is, not every day you get to hear the word canoe and rowing in the same sentence.
Indeed.
Let alone in Bahrain.
Indeed.
So tell us more about the center.
So Bahrain Rowing and Canoe Center has 3 activities.
Okay.
It has dragon boats, paddling, and rowing boats.
Okay.
And RP3 Dynamics, which is rowing machines.
Wow.
So dragon boats is a Chinese-based sport, which actually brings a lot of variety of communities and nationalities to do this sport.
Awesome.
It's more of a team thing to do, a team sport, which all the team members has to collaborate and synchronize with each other to be one piece, to move as fast and in the same rhythm.
Wow, the
dragon boat.
Dragon boat.
Indeed.
Sounds even kind of like Mulanish, It's very cool.
It's the blood, trust the blood.
Really?
Yeah, once you hear about it, once you see it, just go fast. And these people are dedicated to do the sport.
Wow, wow. I mean, and we have a center dedicated for these activities and sports.
True.
When was it established?
It's established in 2016.
Okay.
And from that time, we work to develop our business to be an IDBF certified, which is the International Dragon Boat Federation. And as we are a member of it, we do host local events, and we do participate in international events as well.
Wow. I mean, because every day when it comes to sports, people say, I'm going to go shoot some balls, I'm going to soccer, martial arts, but you don't hear it every day. Somebody says, hey, I'm going to go row. How's the reception so far here?
So, since we are an island, we're surrounded with water.
Right.
Having water sport elements is something to be necessary and need to be developed in Bahrain more.
Right.
As a dragon boat, it is the fastest growing water sport in Bahrain.
Oh.
And we have a lot of teams, which has different nationalities.
Okay.
And US Navy.
Okay.
Most of them.
Right.
French people, Italians.
Wow.
Filipino.
Every nationality.
Indeed. So you just count them all and keep them in one place. That environment is friendly for everybody, and even Bahrainis as well. We do have teams that's based on Bahraini. All of them are Bahrainis, and they do train as elite teams.
Okay. Is it an easy sport to get into, or do you need to practice first, or you need to understand it, you get educated, or you can just jump in and get it done? Is it like a lot of work and studying?
There is a lot of work if you are looking to compete.
Okay.
There's a lot of work need to be put in.
Right.
But if you'd like to have a friendly day with your family, with your friends, just have fun.
Yeah.
We do also do that. For teams that would like to compete, they do a different process. They do have a training, land training, they do have boat training, and most teams also have gym training. They go to the gym to build more muscle, to train, to train for this kind of sport.
Okay.
Because they need to be in good shape so they can perform better.
Right.
And if you just want to have a good time with your family, you have a sunset, you have the sunrise sessions, you can just jump in the boat, and you can see the sunset and have a beautiful day.
That is beautiful. I want to do that.
Pleasure.
Definitely, me and my kids, we're going to have fun with that.
Sure.
Let me ask you a question. What got you into this sport?
I actually love sports.
Okay.
I'm more to be a sport guy. I've done multiple sports.
I can see.
I've done a lot of sports.
Please help me.
Sure. Got you. I've done a variety of sports.
Okay.
Basically all the sports in Bahrain.
Everything. Handball, soccer.
Everything.
All of those. So then how did you get yourself into the Bahrain rowing and canoe?
Because it's something I haven't done.
Simply.
Right?
Respectively. I haven't done. Check. That's it.
Check.
And now you're a member.
I'm a manager.
You're a manager.
I'm the manager.
Amazing.
Pleasure.
Amazing. So what are what are future activities that we're gonna look into?
So from our point of developing and this sports in Bahrain, we are looking to bring the International Dragon Boat Championship in Bahrain.
Wow.
So we are looking to bring the IDBF Championship in Bahrain, which is maintain large countries that are part of the IDBF.
Okay.
So this event is considered as probably will be considered as one of the biggest events that will be held in Bahrain.
Wow.
To have as many countries as IDBF has, that's considered as a huge event, and it needs a lot of work and organization in advance.
Right.
The countries that hosted the International Dragon Boat Federation Championship has done a lot of work through a year or 2 years preparing for that race, for that one day where all countries will be there to compete.
Okay.
And as we are going through a COVID-19 situation, most of the countries do struggle to hold an event like that.
Right.
Because you're having not just 1 or 2 or 3 countries here. You're having
the world, right?
Plenty of countries. For that, we are considering working with the International IDBF directly to maintain our safety and their safety during the COVID-19 pandemic. And we have developed an amazing strategy to maintain our paddler safety and our team safety during the COVID-19 situation by following the IDBF rules and guidelines for COVID-19, and as well as MOH, Ministry of Health, guidelines.
Amazing, amazing.
Indeed.
I am super excited. I want to see this happen, definitely. I mean, Bahrain has hosted some of the biggest events when it comes to sports. We're talking about from the F1 to MMA and a lot of stuff happening here in Bahrain, calisthenics, and now we're going to have the IDBF, the Dragon Boat Championship.
Indeed.
I am psyched about this. So any last words, things you want to tell people about your center?
So if you would like to join our classes, or if you have a team, just bump in and we will get you in a training boat.
All right, I'm going to be there, that's for sure. I'm going to try this out. The Dragon Boat, never heard of that before, and now I'm definitely going to be a part of this. You got me really excited.
Indeed. I got you, man.
Thank you so
pleasure.
much. Looking forward.
Sure.
Pleasure. Well, ladies and gentlemen, dragon boats, canoeing, and rowing, a lot of fun things happening here in Bahrain. Do check it out, the center, and more coming up right here on Bahrain Now. Stay tuned. Viewers, we have reached to the end of our episode. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Don't forget to send us your feedback via email or on social media accounts shown below. For now, goodbye and God bless.